Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Padme Amidala from Star Wars. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. So yes, this is for myself, so don't worry if you can't see it. I know. This is just to get me going and make sure I get everything into the camera. And I'm going for, there's a lot of poses for her. There's a lot of, not poses, costumes that are all really so good. So I'm probably going to do a bunch of them, a bunch of different multiples, you know. This one I'm going to do with the babies. So Revenge of the Sith, right? The last one she's in. So this is her her pregnant costume, right? So that means I get to draw a pregnant lady. And that's kind of fun. And I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Like this hand's going to be back here, cradling the twins. Oops, spoiler alert, right? Hopefully you've seen it by now. But yeah, so this arm's just back behind her, so to speak, so we're not really going to see much of it. But the other one will do kind of out in a little elegant pose, you know. And then her just standing there, really, because she didn't do any action. It's not like what was the other one, Attack of the Clones, where she's fighting, and that one's alright, rant time. I'm gonna go on a rant. That one was pretty silly because of all the people, she's the one who got her shirt ripped and you could see her stomach, her midriff is what they call it. Kind of silly. I mean, it's just Hollywood. I hate to say it like this, but Hollywood finding an excuse to do the scantily clad female, you know. And I'm trying not to be, you know, that guy who's complaining, but you know, it's just it happens to ladies, and that's it. You'll never see the guy with you know, his shirt ripped mid torso showing his stomach, but hey, that's how it is. That's what Hollywood is doing right now. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Until they start fixing it, all we can do is laugh. So anyway, that's a very simple costume on that one. So it's just a white, you know, outfit and whatnot. So I kind of wanted to go with one I like even better. So this one, there's something, you know, really nice about it because it's very simple, but still cool. So yeah, so I thought to do this one first, but the real ones, the ones that are going to be really awesome are going to be, you know, the Phantom Menace. Those were the crazy costumes that were really out there and really fun. So we'll do those in a bit. I don't know, just something about, I think I'm in the clone era from watching, you know, Attack of the Clones, I'm sorry, the Clone Wars and whatnot. I think I'm in that mode. And so I just really like this costume. So that's why I thought I'd do it. Okay, so I'm pretty close. Let me try to see what I can do about this face. The other trick to it is the detail that we can do, but she's, you know, tiny. This is a tiny drawing, so you know, that's what I chose. I chose to do Sharpies. So there's only so much detail I can put in, but I want to try to get it to look right. And I can't turn my page. Yeah, have you tried to draw and not turn your page? Man, man, is it a challenge. To record, I kind of have to. I chose this. This is the style I'm going for. So, you know, it's just my own fault, so to speak. But it's a challenge. Yeah, it's a challenge to keep your paper straight without turning it. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. Let me try to get some tiny details in here. It's not bad. Okay, so sorry I'm going a little quiet, but I tend to do that whenever I concentrate. Okay, I think that might work. That's great for a pencil. Let's see what we can do with the Sharpie. Alright, I think that's good. I think I've got enough in there that I'm going to erase some of these sketch lines. It's 90% sketch lines, but I'm going to erase the sketch and kind of leave the darker image, and that's what I'm going to trace over. So this is kind of a guideline for myself to give me a place to put the Sharpie lines, because I want the Sharpie to stand out and not the pencil. So I'm going to erase as much as I can without making it disappear, and it'll give me something to work with. I think that's good right there. The thing is, my sketches came out so good that I didn't have to go too dark, so I've got a lot of sketch line and not a lot of dark line. So there we go. I think I'm ready. I'm going to welcome everybody that skipped to the Sharpie portions. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a drawing every day. Not necessarily Star Wars, but it's still something fun you can join along with and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point can find things that fine point can't quite find. So I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the darker, lighter images, and what's left is a darker ghost of an image that I can draw the details with, give me guidelines, so to speak. And I'm going to start with the Sharpie pen because I can control the line widths much better, and I'm going to see if I can position myself to draw the way it helps, because I can't turn my paper. Ooh, this is challenging, but this is what I want to do. Okay, so for her eyes, I'm going to start with the top of the eyelids first to see if I got them kind of going in the right spot. So let's see what I got here. Something like that. That looks about right. Okay, so I'm going to draw now the retinas. Like that. Oops, that's a little wide-eyed there. Okay, and I'll drop in just a little bit of a pupil. Like I was talking about in the sketch, I can't go too detailed here. So all I can really do is hit a few dots to see if I've got it kind of in the center, and that's it. It's close enough for me. Color will help with the rest, but these will bleed if I keep getting in there. So I got to be very delicate about what I'm doing with such a tiny little drawing. So I'm going to give her just a little bit of makeup. So I'm going to try to do like a cat eye. You know, that's the easiest way for me to draw makeup with black ink and not go too crazy. You know, the color, like I said, will do more than this, but it's all I can do for now, just to kind of give it that pretty makeup eye. And I'm not going to draw the underside of the eye. Again, color will take care of that. I'm just going to imply it just a little bit by coming in like that, just a hair. And that's it. So I've already done it there, so I'm not going to worry about it. But that's it. I don't want to go any further because I like where it is, and I don't want to get too dark with the black ink. This is very defining, and I want to define certain edges, but not the entire thing. Color will help with that, but for defining edges, I'm going to be very, very minimal, I guess is what it is. So here for her eyebrows, I'm going to give her just a little line like that. Okay, we'll do the same thing over here. Just a little line like that. Very thin eyebrows this year. This was the year of thin eyebrows, right? Okay, so for her nose, I'm coming down here. I'm just going to draw like the underside of it and give her just a little bit of a nostril. So there's the underside. Come in with the nostril like that. Just very subtle. Now for the bulb of the nose, I kind of want to do something, but I want to let color take care of it. So I will do that, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to walk away because, again, this is very defining, and you don't have a very defined edge on your nose. It's shading is really what it comes down to. But we're doing that for this. So for her mouth, let's go from the middle. Just kind of define where that's going to be. Like that. Oops. It's kind of a smile. Like that. So I'm going to do the top lip now. Very tiny, very little subtle. Like that. And then the bottom lip, same thing, just very subtle, like that. Oops, it's a little off over here, so let's see if we can fix it and at least balance it out. It's colored in black, but that's okay. There we go. At least as far as shape, that's close enough. So for the chin, we're just going to go directly underneath, like that, and I'm going to start to thicken it up because once I switch over to this Sharpie, it's super fat, super big, so I kind of want to prepare for that, okay? So I'm going to draw her jawline, and I have her head kind of, this is the head, I've got it tilted just a little bit. This is, I know it's an exaggeration, that's not a little bit, that's a lot. But if this were the head like this, I've got it tilted like that, just a hair. So you're going to see more of the top, and then the ears, which are normally eye and nose height, are just a little bit higher. So I'm going to bring the jawline to about where her mouth is. Then go up, and again start to thicken. And you don't have to if you're using a pencil. You can stay with where you are. But I'm just telling you why I'm switching over to some thicker lines because of what's about to happen with the big Sharpie. Or even though it's called the Sharpie fine point. It's pretty fine, but not for tiny little things like what we're doing. Okay. So I'm defining some edges here. And again, thickening more. And the nice thing is, you can see what I'm doing is as I'm thickening, I'm also like correcting the lines, making them a little bit smoother. So that helps you with the inking process. You can kind of hide your mistakes, so to speak. Okay, so her ear is going to come here, but it's going to disappear for the hair. Same thing over here. We're just going to kind of disappear in the hair. So we'll just kind of do something like this, just for the lobish part, you know. That'll go up, that'll go up. But again, the hair is going to cover that up, so let's do that hair. We're going to come in here, kind of throw it back like that because she's got kind of a braided thing going on here. Like that. Okay, and so let's define the middle. We'll go ahead and give her a part like that. And there's going to be more back there because your hair, you should see in the back and it's pulled back. So I'm going to define the edge like here, like this. Same thing over here, and then I'll do the back in a second. Like that. And then I'm going to do the back of the head like this. Just again, just to kind of define that, yeah, her hair is not parted down the middle all the way, just to the front of the hair. Okay, and I'm not going to draw all the lines. We're not going to do that. This is not a tutorial about hair. This is about the body, right? The sketch, the pose. And I'm just kind of defining her little braided look in the back. So I think I'm going to switch over here. I think that's good for the detail I wanted to put in. And again, I'm going to thicken up some of these lines. You're going to see why in a second. Okay, those are kind of floating, but I'll define them in a second. So switching over to the Sharpie here. So I'm going to draw her neck into the collar, and her braid is going to come around to the front. Let's go ahead and do that too. So I'm going to define the neck real fast, like this. And then same thing here, because that's in front of the hair, but I'm going to have the braid coming out like that. And we're just going to hang it off to the side. And We'll add some definition in a second. I just wanted to show that it's in front. Okay. So since it's a braid, I don't have a picture of what exactly it looks like. So I'm just going to kind of play around with a braid zigzaggedy style. And I've got a tutorial on this, so I'm just kind of doing that, and I'm gonna braid them up. Okay? That's my zigzaggedy braid technique. You should look it up. Now that's got more of a round bulbous like for each one of these, so I wasn't quite doing that. I was just doing kind of a, and I'll do it here, just kind of define a few edges. Just a very tightly wrapped braid. But I'll add a few bumps, you know, just to show that, yeah, it's braided hair that goes back and is a little styled. Just add some weave to this edge to where it's knotted together. I mean, where it's frayed from where it's not braided. All right, here we go. So let's keep going with this Sharpie. Let's see, you know what, before I do that, I'm gonna also define the little, and I'm going by my sketch, so don't worry, I know it looks like it's floating, but I'm going by where I sketched it. The little floating, not floating, the centerpiece is what I'm trying to say. She's got this little designed connector, I guess, best thing to call it, but it's very ornate, it's got a lot of detail in it. So we're just gonna kind of come up with something just to kind of give it a center for where all this stuff connects. And I'm just kind of making up these lines just to do something, you know? But I wanted to define the center part of this little strap that's around her chest. So that means I can draw her collar like this. And now that I have this edge, I can go ahead and bring the hair in like that. Clean that up a little bit. And this part of the collar is covered up by the braid, so it's kind of pushed down a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and draw her chest with the straps. So I'm gonna draw her shoulders right here. The other one out here like that. And let's see, she's got sleeveless shirt on, so I'm going to go ahead and define a few edges like this, bring it in, and that's all I can do over here because it's covered up by the hair. So now I can draw the strap, and let's do that with the thinner Sharpie so it will stand out, it'll contrast, okay? So I'm just going to bring a line in like this, same thing with this one, and so see how that has got a different look to it. It's a little thinner than the rest, so it kind of stands out. Same thing here, we're going to do it on this side. And we'll do it over here too. And I know it looks like it's floating, but I am going by my sketch that tells me where to stop. There we go, let's thicken it up just a little bit more. Like that. Booyah! Looks awesome. How's yours coming out? Fantastic. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and connect that there before I forget. And so I'm gonna draw her skirt and then we'll work our way. No, let's do the arm. Let's do the arm since we're over here. So it's pretty basic. It's gonna be just the shoulder to the arm, but her sleeves are, she's got super high gloves on, so I'm just gonna put that in. Then I can do the forearm to the wrist. Now, this kind of goes over her hand about that much, so we're drawing it over the hand, or where the hand would be, and I'll show you why in a second. Like that. So see, that's where the inside of the hand is going to be, so I can draw the other parts here. So basically, it's cut off right about there, so it's kind of hiding all this other detail, but we can draw this part. So the thumb is going to come out like this. Oops, it's a little bumpy. There's the meat of the hand like this, so that means the fingers are protruding from there, so I've just got the fingers just kind of elegantly floating out. And this one's more extended outward like So they're like that. See, and I'm gonna define a few more little lines with this tiny Sharpie, the Sharpie pan. We'll add some bends right there so you see where we are. And I kind of messed up that thumb, but that's okay. And we'll go ahead and add some. Lost my picture. There we go. Some creases and folds just to kind of show that it's a material, you know. There we go. Something like that. Not too much, not too crazy. But there, just an elegant hand out, floating out. You know, she's the queen. Well, I guess she's not the queen anymore at this point, right? Okay, so she is pregnant, so we're gonna give her a little bit of a belly with the dress hanging down. So I'm gonna come out here, follow this, like that, and I'm going to drape the skirt a little bit like this. Oops, it should have connected. Something like that. And let me draw some extra lines just to accent. And just to show that it's, you know, pregnant belly. Something like that. I'm all over the place with my lines. They're just kind of flying everywhere, huh? Okay, so this arm's going to be back behind. She's kind of, you know, underneath, kind of cradling her stomach. So all you're going to see is the side of her arm. So I'm going to do the shoulder, and then like that, we're going to put that. But all you're going to see is basically the forearm disappearing underneath here because it's cradling underneath. So we're going to draw what we can. We're going to draw the bicep to the forearm, or there's the crook of the arm. Forearm in like that, and that's where it's bent in. So I'm just going to add some detail of where the material is like that, and then there's going to be the wrist right there. But that's it. That's all you can really see, because like I said, the rest of it's back behind right there, and that's okay. You only have to draw what you can see. So let's draw her legs, and it's just basically tights and boots. So we're drawing anatomy, so that's nice. So we're going to draw the leg. See, her crotch is right around there, so we're going to come in with the leg and come down here to the knee and go into the boot. Then we'll do the other outside too here, because it goes down like that, down to the knee, into the calf. This leg is in front, so it's coming down like this. Same thing to the calf. Close it off where the boot is. This one's back behind, but it's about like that. Same thing. Close it off to the boot. And because those are tights, there's not a lot we can do there, but I can add just a little bit of anatomy. So we'll do like a little knee, like that, and that kind of helps with showing that there's something there, you know? We're not going to do too much, just a little bit of subtlety. Today's about subtlety. So now we just got to do the boots, and they're just pretty much just awesome space boots. We're just going to come down to the front, draw a little crook from where the boot bends at the ankle, just to give it some texture, some technique. And then I'm just going to come down here and draw the front. Front to the tip, toes to the heel, like that. We'll add some technique there in a second. I'm just going to show you the rest. So we're going to draw the same thing over here. We're going to draw the side, a little bit of crook. This is more pointed at you. So we're going to draw about to there. That's where the heel is going to be, like that. And then down here for the front. So we're going to draw the front of the boot like that, and we'll come down this way. So we're going to draw the side, a little bit of crook down to the front like that. Add some detail, just a little bit of bend on the boot, just to show that it's got some stress. Not too much. I always want to draw too much, but I'm trying not to. You know, a little bit of style, a little bit of technique, and not going crazy. Something like that. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Padme Amidala from Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.